when I'm speaking to clients here in the office, the first, I suppose, step is all about doing a education projection, because the cost to put your kids through education will depend on many different factors. Firstly, it'll depend on how many dependents you have. It'll depend obviously on what age your dependents and how long you have to go until you have to meet those education costs. And as I already mentioned, the cost can really vary depending on whether they're expected to stay at home or whether they have to rent. Obviously, if you're somebody who's living in maybe Cork City Centre, Dublin City Centre, you could maybe plan on the basis that they might stay at home. But for those that are living on more rural areas, they might be better off planning on the basis that they might be needing to stay in rented accommodation during third level education. This is a projection that I done with two clients I was working with last week. So they had two children, one was age 2 and one was age 4, and working on the assumption that they were staying at home when they're in third level education. They would need to have set aside about €36,000 for their first dependent and about €35,000 for their second dependent. So, roughly about €72,000 there to put their two kids through third level education. Now, while some of you might balk at that figure and say it's completely unrealistic, one thing we do have to appreciate is that inflation means that education costs and living costs and rent will rise naturally over time. So while that might seem like a very large sum of money now, it might be a very, very realistic sum of money in 15 to 17 years time. At that point in Ireland, the price of a pint could probably be 15, €20 the way things are going. Now, this projection also says that those clients can achieve that goal by saving about €303 per month. Now, the child benefit per child in Ireland is about €140 per child. So in total, that's €280 for the two kids. So they're nearly coming up to that figure. Now, if we plan on the basis that those kids are going to be renting while they're in third level education, unfortunately, the costs nearly double, as you can see here. So again, if you are in that cohort, it is so important to plan early on. In that instance, parents would need to save about €602 per month. Now, obviously, some people might say to me, look, that they don't have to finance the total cost, which is true. Some of it might be covered through a grant. Some of it might be covered through your kids working part-time when they're in college. I know I did, but it's really about making sure that you are getting yourself into the best possible position and save what you can afford to save